Hello, hello everyone. Good morning. This is my complaint document. Okay. Then talk today we talk about API. So I developed a Spring Boot application with RESTful API for hospital management system. It providing some functionalities for key entities and using Mybatis to interact with the MySQL databases. In Mybatis, we handle the database interaction efficiently and it exposes the RESTful APIs for managing data. Okay, then what is Mybatis? Mybatis is a lightweight SQL mapping framework that implements simplifies the interaction between Java application and relational database. It providing some core functionalities, mainly SQL queries for Java object, and it fine-grained control over SQL operations. And unlike the ORM, stands for Object Relational Mapping, like JPA. Then MyPatis have some key features, mainly custom SQL flexibility, fine-tuned control. Comparison to ORM, unlike full, MyPatis does not automatically manage database schema and enable great flexibility control over the database operation. When to when we use MyPatis, when high performance SQL execution and complex query management are needed and useful for legacy system or project requiring detail in SQL control. This is difference between JPA and MyPatis. Uh, mainly mainly when JPA is a good choice when you prioritize simplicity and rapid development. It is especially for application with straightforward data access. In JPA simplifies data access and promotes more object oriented approaches. In my patties, uh, it offers fine-grained control SQL queries. Well-suited complex queries will perform once optimization. MyPatis provide flexibility for integration with exciting databases. Okay, then before start the project, we need some setup and tools, mainly Java 17 plus version, Spring Boot application, Maven, MySQL, and Postman and GitHub. Then how to install every tools and technology. Go with through following steps. Okay, then we start the create hospital menu system project with using MyPatis. Launched After that, launch the Spring Boot application. Browse the file as you create for your project. Launch the application. Then import the Maven existing project. Then it automatically build. Okay. Then create main package. As by this main package. After that, create sub package of main package as you needed of your project, mainly controller, entities, mapper, and service packages. Okay. uh, After that, in entities package, represented the structure of patient tables in database, contain approaches storing patient details such as id, name, gender, and address. In entities package, we create entities package, uh, like some entities, uh, patient id, patient name, gender, and address, and set the getter setter method for that. Okay. After that, in controller package, the controller package is a spring rest controller expose various endpoints to manage the patient data. It communicate with the patient service to perform CRUD operations on the patient data. Okay. For in controller package, uh, we use some annotations like rest controller, request mapping, get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, and delete mapping. Like that, in controller package we create a controller, uh, we send a request for that using patient, uh, inject the patient service. uh, we inject the patient service, like we send the data from that. After that, we create a new patient using post mapping, get all patients, get by id, put mapping. It update the patient data and delete, and this delete mapping using delete the patient data. Okay, sorry. In mapper package, the patient mapper interface defines the SQL queries used to interact with database, and it uses Mybatis annotations for some code operations, like insert, select, update, and delete. Okay. In service packages, the service layer acts as the intermediate between the controller and repositories. It handles the business logic. It provides some operations. Hospital entity, hospital entity. It like retrieve all patient data, getting a patient ID, update and delete the patient data. In patient service, class contain business logic for handling and patient related operations. It communicates with patient mapper to interact with database. In service packages, we use some annotations like service and dependencies like auto in service packages, we create service packages. uh, this is annotations, uh, that for get by id, patient get by id, mm, get all patients, update the patient, and delete the patient. We create a mapper class. This is annotations for mapper class, uh, like using insert new patients, get by patients by id, uh, get all patients, update the patient, and this using delete patient from data. Okay, this is my uh, pom.xml file. We need some dependencies. uh, Mybatis Spring Boot starter, mysql connector, lambook, Spring Boot starter validation, and Spring Boot starter test. Okay, firstly, how to then how to run this application. Go in main package and run as Spring Boot application. Okay, application start successful. We and I use 8080 port for that. So firstly, we get all patients in postman. Okay, I hit the request for all patients. This these requests are successfully. We show her all all patient data from that. After that, get patient by id. Suppose we get id 7, id 7. Okay, in after so it successful get by id. In post mapping function, suppose we create a new patient. uh, Go in raw and select JSON file. Suppose we create a new patient name for Sir and Pune. Okay, okay. Uh, post mapping request is successfully. It show it shows here patient ID 26 Sir, gender male, and patient address Pune. After that, Suppose uh, input input method, I want to update. I update the I update this data. Okay, then my sir Pune, Maharashtra. Maharashtra. Okay, put mapping put mapping is successfully. Then get all patients. My sir and Pune Maharashtra. Pune Maharashtra is successful. After that, we delete we delete 25 number for Aditya Jadhav, gender male and address Ailanagar. Okay. In in delete mapping 25. After that, okay. The delete mapping is request successful. Okay. And 25 Aditya Jadhav request successful.
Okay, good. Overall means you have added all APIs, correct? Can you go on that RESTful API call? So I hope you have added validation layer as well.
Uh, yes, sir.
Can you explain that how it works?
So we after that seen see the validation logger and exception handling for Mybatis for hospital management system. This is unit test. I apply unit test cases for hospital management system using Mybatis. Then how it is JUnit test case. JUnit test cases are automated test for verifying the functionality code of units in Java. uh, unit case in unit test cases, we use some only annotation at the rate test and assertion used to check the code behave accepted or not. Genuine test case help in identify bugs in your code and improve your reliability. Why unit test cases are uses in for development. It shows early bug detection, improve code quality, safe documentation code, uh, faster debugging and better connection. uh, it is very most useful for developers than how to start with genuine test cases than how to write. uh, in your project, add dependencies like JUnit, Mockito, Spring Boot test dependencies. Create then create a test in a, in your Spring Boot application. Like this is main package. This is main package, and I write I write test for that. Uh, I write test for that. We had an writing write test cases for Spring Boot REST API. So set up dependencies like Spring Boot Starter, test, JUnit 5 Mockito, use Spring Boot test in mock services. We use annotation like @mockbean in test controller. For that web MUC test for test REST API endpoints in simulate request with mock MOC mock MUC, that for simulated HTTP request and check responses are successful or not. Any and as a response validate status code headers and body content. Run and validate, execute start, ensure API functionality and handle the edge cases. Setting up for After the setting error for JUnit in
Can
the
you show in the this API call how this validation will
yes
be?
sir, yes sir. Uh,
In API
in
call, REST
pom.xml
API
file,
call, I want to check.
sorry.
In REST API call, I want to check. Go on that REST client
Okay.
and
In controller, uh, in controller file, we
no, no,
use
no,
REST
no.
controller
REST
validation.
REST client. Hello.
So,
REST client मध्ये जा ना postman मध्ये.
acha, okay.
Hmm. Explain here.
So, oh yes, sir. So firstly, we run the application. Application runs successful. I on all patient data. Sir, I use same port for Mybatis and JUnit validation and exception handling. We want we want get all patients. Uh, lo- show that I get the request. Get all patients, fetching all patients. It's starting, and we and this request is hit successfully. After go using logger, these messages are display. Okay. Then get patient by ID. Suppose we want 26 number, 26 IDs patient. Then menu here in console, we hit the request. I want get by ID 24, fetching a patient with ID 4. This request is successfully completed.
नाही अरे मी काय
Successfully
म्हणतोय
completed.
व्हॅलिडेशन तर सांग ना मला व्हॅलिडेशन एक्सप्लेन कर फक्त की काहीतरी चुकीचं टाक एरर येतोय का नाही बघायचं मला
हाँ यस सर करतो. सपोज
तेच
सपोज
विचारतोय
here
तुला मी बराच वेळेच
yes sir. So uh, here ID 7 is not available in this data. Okay. Then I hit the request ID 8. It show some validations and error in console. A fetching student 8.
and
Error show
have you
patient ID
added j
not found
units as
8.
well have you added j
JUnit
units
okay. In SRC test file controller, uh, we run this application in patient controller. JUnit test cases are run successfully. Firstly, test this is for post mapping. Create a patient. This error this this test successfully run. I want to fail them. I here we provide provides patient name as Aditya, where I change here. Then save. Test, test create patient is fail because I said the patient name as Aditya, and in that here exchange with pronoun. So test create patient is fail. Get all patient here, then single test. Okay. Get all patients test cases are successful. Get by ID. Okay. Okay. Get by ID test cases are successful. After that, update test case. It runs successful and deleting patient ID. Okay, that clear.
Okay, yeah, looks good. You can stop recording.
Okay, sir.